Okay. Can y'all see this okay?
Yeah.
It's kind of small though.
Miss, for 2 was the answer B.
2. We have the integral from -2 to 2 of 5 minus, no, 4. 4 minus x squared.
We'll see.
Okay. Oh,
Miss, you're backwards.
this is, yeah. Hold on. Is that? Now is it right? Okay. So this is where we were, right?
Yeah.
So plugging it in, we'll have a 4 minus, or sorry, no, we had the integral already. We already did the integral, I forgot. Okay. 4x minus 1/3 x cubed. Okay. So now we plug in 2. So we have 4 times a 2 minus a 1/3 times a 2 cubed. Then we're subtracting 4 times a -2 minus a 1/3 times a -2 cubed. Rude.
Oh, he's
But he didn't keep it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna remember it.
So 8 minus 8/3.
You don't even know my
Our negatives cancel out here. Plus 8. -2 cubed. 8 times a 1/3. So minus another 8/3. But yeah, no, sorry, yeah, minus 8/3 because we have 3 negatives
The
here.
8s are canceled? No.
No, because they're subtracted. So what we're going to do, we have a -16/3 and a 16. So we need to get the 16 over 3. So if I'm going to do that, I need to multiply by a 3 over 3. So that's going to be a 38? 48.
Yes.
48. So we have a 48/3 minus 16/3, which finally gets us to 32, right? So it should be C for question 2. Well.
C, you mean D?
C? Oh, sorry, yeah, D. I read it wrong. D.
Tomorrow's Friday.
I don't know. What? For 3. Now we're doing y equals x and a y equals x squared minus 3x plus 3. Now your sketches don't need to be super accurate. Like, don't stress over it. If you see an x squared and it opens up, it's going to be opening up. Now, we have a minus 3x plus 3. The only point you need to really find to help yourself get an idea of where this is your c value. So what is our c value in that quadratic equation? Positive 3. So that means it has to go through a positive 3. If you wanted another extra point, another easy one to plug in is 1. Because you plug 1 in here, those 3's will cancel. Because one of them's negative. And it just equals 1. So if you wanted a second point to help you graph this, you could say, okay, I also know the point 1, 1. So your graph is somewhere here. You don't entirely know where, but you know it has a general shape like this. Now, do we all know what y equals x looks like? Y equals x?
Just a line.
Yep, just a line. So based off of this, our graph is somewhere here, and that's the area we're looking for. Now, another hint to help you figure out if you've drawn this accurately is looking for those intersection points. So we already kind of found one, right? 1, 1.
Excellent. Hello? What's up, G? What's up, G?
Okay,
Oh.
next, set them equal to each other.
2 minutes.
We have x equal to our other function, the x squared
Good about it.
minus 3x plus 3. You head out to Traxton? Is that what it is? The track? Yeah. Yep. That's why I go to bed at 8:30. Strategy.
Strategy.
Okay.
This is, you have to know that. It's easy, so it's like x minus. And then you go into
Okay. So, there's two ways you can do it. There's the X box, or there's a table, a T-chart.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
So now you have to.
So I usually use the T-chart, multiplies to 3, adds to a -4, or you can do the X box and you put your 3 up here and your -4 here. What numbers multiply to 3 add to -4? Well, I could do 3 and 1, but those aren't negative, so add your negative signs.
Oh, yeah.
You play too much.
It's because she'd be agreeing, but she didn't understand.
It's because like you can hear it and you're like, okay, that makes sense, but doing it is a whole other thing.
But it's basically.
So then if that's what we have in our X box, what are my factors?
So C and B and then you find that.
So now we know our X values, X equals 3, X equals 1. Well, based off of our graph, if that's 3, that makes sense, right? If our intersection is here at 3, yeah, that matches what we graphed. Okay. There is potential that this graph goes farther down than what we've drawn, but it's still not going to change anything because this is still the top function, this is our bottom function. That is the main thing we are worried about. So try setting up your integral. It'll be like 30 seconds.
Someone open the fish. I don't know if I'm right.
Not 0, sorry.
If x minus 2x, top minus 1.
Yep. Okay. Why did X go first?
It's on top.
Because it's on top. Don't forget your parentheses on the second function. Because that negative affects all of it.
Yeah, that, I did it except the points.
Yep. So without the parentheses, that means we've distributed the negative already. So a negative x squared plus 3x minus 3 dx. Now we can combine this x over here. Integral 1 to 3, negative x squared plus 4x minus 3 dx. Okay, do you want to try taking that integral on your own? Put that up momentarily.
Wait, so after this, we don't have nothing to the exponents?
So when you do the antiderivative, and there's powers or constants, you always add one more x than you had. So that means we add 1 to our constant, or to our exponent.
So do we do that after this?
So you do that at this next step because you're taking your integral. So whenever you're like, I'm trying to get rid of that symbol in the front, take my integral, you add that 1 in the exponent, bring the reciprocal down. So I wrote that it's a negative 1/3 x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3x. Confusions on why?
Yeah.
Okay. So for the first one, add 1 to the exponent,
Yeah.
right? Bring it down. Feel good with that one?
It is.
For the next one, I add 1 to my exponent. So a 1 becomes a 2.
Then you bring it to the front.
Bring it to the front in a reciprocal, so 4 over 2 now, because I had a 4 originally.
Yeah.
So 4 divided by 2 gets us to 2. Last thing, we add that x on our last one because it's a constant.
Oh.
Okay. Next, we're plugging those in. So we're going to have a negative 1/3 times a3 cubed plus a2 times a3 squared minus 3 times 3. Next, we'll have minus, and it's going to be subtracting that whole next chunk where we plug 1 in. When I plug 1 in, it just kind of goes away with multiplication, so we have a negative 1/3 plus 2 minus 3. From here, it's just simplifying with our arithmetic. So take a second to do that, and then let me know what you find. A, B, C, D, or E.
C.
What?
What did you get?
See.
C.
How do you get?
Okay. Do you want some more time?
Alright.
I'm going to talk about how I did this a little bit.
Or rather, yeah, can you show me that?
For this first one, since I have a 3 cubed divided by 3, well, that 3 is going to cancel out with one of the 3's I already have. So that makes my exponent a 2 instead. Meaning what I'm going to have for that first chunk is a negative 9. This part goes to 18 because 3 squared is a 9 times a 2. So I have a plus 18 here. And then I have another minus 9. So what is that chunk part, this chunk that I wrote here, going to? 0. These all cancel each other out. Now I have minus, and I have a negative 1/3 and a plus 2 minus 3, so I have a negative 1/3. That's supposed to be 1/3 minus 1. So they have 1 over 3. That negative is going to cancel all those out, so this is just 1 and 1/3, or 4/3. So just work through it just a chunk at a time. So yeah, it should have been C.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to do.
Waiting on